Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, tape live at the twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about NXT. And also, of course, there's a decisive AEW world champion. Now it's Mox.
Very clear who the champion is. No debate, no argument.
Right.
It's Mox. It was interesting. I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Jump right into it, man. This was crazy. This was nuts.
So it was crazy. Just from a lot of perspectives, it was crazy. So we knew the match was happening tonight. It's a title match, title unification match. You'd assume, main event.
Yeah,
it's gotta be the main event.
Yeah,
top title. It's got to be the main event. You thought that was the case. You were wrong.
You're wrong. Fiction.
Open the second hour. I don't know if Tony Khan got some numbers back that they see a drop at the beginning of the second hour or something. He's like, all right, title match there. So the expectation is you're not going to get a clean finish.
Right.
Or not get a clear finish or something like that. Totally wrong. They try to set it up as like, oh, now this match has the full hour to go, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Punk's... Even if he did get medically cleared and is reasonably healthy, he's not going an hour.
No.
You can't fool me with that.
No, he looked gassed by the time he took his shirt off there for the match.
Yeah.
He was already sweating.
Match lasted about, 5 minutes. At one point, Punk hit a head kick, and then his plant foot, he was selling, ow, it hurts. I guess that's the foot he broke.
Yeah.
And so he's down the mat holding it, and then Mox wrecks him, hits 2 Death Riders, paradigm shifts, covers them. 1, 2, 3. Mox, undisputed champion. I could not be happier with the result. Mox is basically unbeatable at this juncture, and not in an annoying way.
Right. Yeah.
And it's been fun to watch because he's wrestling every week. He's put on really fun matches every week. He bleeds every week, and the matches he's been putting on of late, I feel like have had variety.
Yeah.
I felt like before he took his leave, there was something that's kind of routine about Mox. He'd come, he'd do his match. Let's say they're bad. I'm not trying to talk trash.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like... I feel like he's refocused now, and feels like he's putting so much of himself into his wrestling now.
Yeah. No,
and every match of his feels personal. Yeah. And I didn't get that sense before. And again, I don't want this to seem like a slight to Mox because he's had an accomplished career. A lot of people really love him. His first run AEW was good. I just feel like he's on a whole other level right now. And I feel whatever the reason is, it just feels like he's operating just in a whole other stratosphere.
I have no idea if it has to do with, the sobriety thing, because he went away, and it really seemed that was like the line. Where before that, it was like, I'm not sure if he's phoning in it or not. Ever since he came back from that's when it seemed to start. He's just been on an absolute tear. It's at this point, I'm like, man, we're going to have to make some decisions about Wrestler of 2022 because he is up there. But yeah, no. So this was a quick match. What, you got a curious look on your face?
So Best Boy Patrick here in chat says here that Sean Ross Sapp said the plant foot wasn't the injured foot. That's a new injury, kayfabe or not. So I saw his tweet about the foot he was holding was a plant foot, but I didn't see anything subsequently about that not being the foot he hurt.
So I don't remember like the original foot that he injured. Which one was it?
I don't know. I don't think they ever said.
We never saw him in like the boot or anything, or like when he was doing the airplane thing. Do we know which?
Oh, I don't remember
which one that was.
But he could have been faking that too because I didn't know what foot it was.
Yeah. So I mean, if we take Sean, Sean's kind of an attention to detail guy. The plant foot wasn't the injured foot. Yeah.
So
dude, let's dive into this, okay? Because like we were.
So wondering... hold on. So 1 second. So the foot he used to kick Mox in the head was the right foot.
Correct.
The foot he sold was the left foot.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Let me just double check here because
I know. Yeah, I better pay attention to that.
Yeah, I watched this like 3 times. He's selling his left foot. Was his injured foot the right foot? Okay, whatever.
I don't know. So Twinewinder here says Mox indicated it was the right foot in last week's promo. Thank you, Twinewinder.
I am going to assume this is all kayfabe. I'm going to assume that this match played out the way it did according to storyline. It had nothing to do with Punk getting injured. That's my assumption. So right foot, left foot, it kind of doesn't matter unless we're talking about the story of it.
Yeah, because if the story of it is Punk came back too early and re-aggravated an injury, but if that's the wrong foot, not the foot he injured previously, I mean, it's not exactly come back too soon, is it?
Well, okay, is there... So what we've heard, I think, from Fightful Select, was it Fightful Select or Meltzer who said, hey, this was pitched and Mox suggested, or at least Mox encouraged it to go down tonight. Okay, that's Fightful. Okay. So if that's the situation and Punk was convinced that this was the night to do it, I'm assuming it's so that the city of Chicago didn't have to be character assassination, right? He goes into Chicago and gets annihilated.
Yeah.
And that's going to kill your crowd because that has to main event.
Yeah.
So you put it here because this is the finish you're going to do. Doesn't that mean that Punk ain't going all out now?
Yeah.
Punk's not going to be in Chicago?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I would imagine. Again, this is speculation, no information. That maybe when they conceived of the interim championship, the idea was that Punk, he'll be out a couple months or something like that.
Yeah.
At this juncture, it seems like he's going to be out longer, and long enough that it seems silly to have an interim champion at this juncture.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have this finish, you have this match, you advance the story that whether it's Punk came back too soon or the idea that, well, he had to spend so much time walking on left foot. Now that got overused and therefore makes it more susceptible to injury, whatever.
You shouldn't be doing those airplane moves,
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's it. As far as who Mox is taking on at All Out, most obvious answer based on the rankings and based on who Punk brought up last week is Hangman Adam Page. Page is number one in the rankings as of today. He was even number one as of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That would make all the sense in the world, especially if the Dark Order loses in the first round of the Trios tournament on Rampage this Friday. Page has got his September 4th open.
I was kind of wondering if maybe plans had changed in that respect, because I think that the Young Bucks and Kenny versus Hangman and the Dark Order could have been a really fun match at All Out. I mean, any of these teams would be a great, but it's clear that Kenny and the Bucks are going to advance to the finals. I mean, that's a given. As far as the other side of it, I figured it'd been a Hangman and the Dark Order. He would find a way to get in that match somehow, or he would have to get in that match somehow. Somebody would go out injured or something. But yeah, I wonder if Hangman versus Mox is gonna be the thing. I mean, clearly MJF. There were some rumblings that people were expecting him to show up tonight. That didn't happen. There is also Fightful Select reported on a talent meeting that took place tonight. Max Caster referenced it in his rap, which I thought was pretty clever, where a quote unquote fired up Tony Khan talked to everybody. The Jericho and the Bucks, and I think Kenny might have talked to everybody there as well. And just saying, hey, this is we need this is, if you need to talk to us, if you need to talk to me, this is how you go about doing it. Whether or not anybody came out of that meeting happier or not, who knows. But apparently the issues that we have talked about here on the show that have been reported by Meltzer and Fightful, there was an attempt to address it. There was an attempt to reestablish, hey, if you have a problem, there's a way to deal with it. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, dude, we are 2 weeks away from All Out at this point. And we don't have a main event. I mean, somebody here in chat, and I'm sorry it was a little bit further up, but somebody here in chat said Punk jobbing out in Chicago is better than him not being there at all. I don't disagree with that necessarily, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's a shock finish if you do that in Chicago. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Because you could do this match tonight or you could do this match at All Out. I guess, the idea is, hey, we don't want to kill the Chicago crowd. But man, I don't know. I kind of feel like doing Punk and Mox in Chicago is the way to go, but they elected not to, and everybody's talking about Dynamite tonight. So I guess mission accomplished. They're gonna,
I guess
people are gonna order All Out anyways. It's probably
exactly
already
tickets
sold
already
out.
sold before a single match had been announced, I believe.
Right? Yeah, I think you're right about that.
A couple people here in chat are saying on the graphic for the trios match on Rampage that only 2 members of the Dark Order were on the graphic, where there was like a vacant silhouette. Otherwise, so I guess maybe Paige would pull double duty.
Ooh, or let's take a look at I do this every Wednesday. Let's take a look at the AEW
So
rankings.
the rankings on the website haven't been updated 2 weeks. I looked during the show. You have to go to their Twitter to find it. Yeah,
you got to go to their Twitter.
Yeah, their Twitter.
Oh,
and you have to scroll down because they post a lot.
They do post a lot. Does anybody?
So you obviously have Mox, and then you have Wardlow. They're the 2 champions. Paige was 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, shoot. Paige was tops. I think Hobbs was in the top 5, but he already has a match at All Out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jericho was in the top 5. At least this was as of 2 weeks ago. Sorry, Jericho was in the top 5, but he has a match. As was Garcia. He has a match at All Out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Hangman's kind of the obvious answer then, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Unless MJF is going to come back.
And then, that's the thing, too, is MJF. Is that a possibility? I mean, the idea that he could be coming back soon, but, God, don't you do that? Well, maybe you don't do it tonight.
So did you find the rankings? Because I have them here if you want.
No, go ahead.
So you got Paige at 1, Hobbs 2, Jay Lethal at 3, Darby Allin at 4, and then Bryan Danielson at 5. So all but one, Darby, already involved in a match at All Out.
And I also feel like everybody you mentioned, except Paige. For Danielson and Paige, are TNT guys. Like Jay Lethal's a TNT guy. He's going after the TNT title.
Yeah.
Who's Hobbs? I mean, Hobbs should be a world title guy, but he's probably about to lose to Ricky Starks at All Out, which is a shame. I kind of want Hobbs to fucking annihilate him.
That new shirt of his is pretty awesome, huh?
The Hobbs shirt, yeah. They meant Ricky Starks' Volt shirt. No, that new Hobbs merch shirt is good.
Ricky Starks' Volt shirt tonight was pretty awesome too.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's just go ahead and dive into it. And
here, let's talk about one more thing because this was a bit surprising too. During the show, Thunder Rosa had an interview and announced that she was injured and would not be able to defend the title All Out. Therefore, we're going to get an interim women's champion crowned at All Out. There'd be a 4-way match. Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Jamie Hayter will compete to become the interim champion. You got to think it's Toni Storm's match to lose.
I got the feeling that Toni Storm was about to beat Thunder Rosa anyways. I mean, Jade is obviously the A champion. I believe she's going to be taking on Athena at All Out, correct?
I would guess so, yeah.
I don't think that's been announced.
No, I don't think it's been announced yet. It might be announced on Rampage. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was they advertised a Jade segment tonight on Dynamite for Rampage. So
yeah. So yeah. I mean, you got to figure you got Britt and Jamie in that match as we saw tonight, but that's going to fall apart pretty much instantly.
Yeah, you think so?
And it was good to see Shida back on cable TV as well. I know she's been back for a while, but she's been doing the YouTube shows.
Yeah, which is weird. Imagine all the story they could have built up if they'd had some of those really awesome looking 6-woman tag matches. Like the talent in those matches was incredible.
Off the charts. Off the charts. I agree.
Incredible.
Put it on TV.
Put it on TV.
Yeah. And then it was also confirmed tonight we're getting Chris Jericho versus Danielson at All Out. I like that segment. I thought it was funny because it's like this whole pro wrestler versus sports entertainer thing, but the segment itself tonight was just pure sports entertainment.
Oh, it really was.
Garcia killed it, by the way.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Garcia did a killer job with his acting. But it was totally acting.
It was acting. So let's jump into it. Let's take a quick break here. You get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So, Steve.
Yes?
I'm a shoe guy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I like my shoes. I love my shoes. So let me ask you, how well do you think I'd take care of my shoes if I had to keep the same pair, only wear one pair, for the rest of my life?
For the rest of your life?
You heard me right.
Man, I'm thinking you'd put those in shrink wrap. You'd lock them up in like a lead box. It would be you'd every day, and you'd wash them all the time. You take great care of them. Of course, you did. The rest of your life, you take great care of them.
Of course I would take great care of him. Of course I would. Yet, we only get one brain, and a lot of us don't treat it with that same level of care. See, how we care for our brains and minds can affect how we experience life.
That's absolutely true, Larson. And there are plenty of ways you can support your brain health. You could learn a new language. You could do what Steve does and take a lot of power naps. Or you could try BetterHelp online therapy.
Yeah, there was a period in my life where I was dealing with severe anxiety, and rather than treat my mental health like the old beat-up pair of shoes I wear for yard work, I looked for some help. And having gone through the process of trying to find a therapist, I know how difficult it can be to find the right person to talk to. But BetterHelp Online Therapy makes that process much more convenient by offering video, phone, and even live chat therapy sessions.
That's right. BetterHelp can get you matched up with a therapist in less than 48 hours, and it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/raw. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Chris Jericho comes out to open up the show. He says, last week there was an issue between myself, Daniel Garcia, and that we agreed to come out and discuss these issues and work them out face to face. So he introduces one of his favorite members of the Jericho Appreciation Society, as he puts it, Danny Garcia. Garcia comes to the ring. So the crowd's chanting, "You're a wrestler," at Garcia. And Jericho says, I'm going to try to say this as politely as I can. Shut up. And he says, Danny, don't listen to him. They didn't understand our connection. He says, last week you had a classic with Bryan Danielson, but at the end of the match, his emotions running high. You put your hands on me. He says, I know what the hell you went through. You were disappointed that you lost. So I feel like we can work this out quickly. I just want you to apologize to me. Mm-hmm. And so Garcia takes a moment and says, you knew how special it was for me to share the ring with my hero, Bryan Danielson. He says, I wrestled my hero for 30 minutes, rave reviews everywhere, one of the best matches in the history of Dynamite, and I hung with my hero for 30 minutes. He says, that match is the kind of match I dreamt of having as a kid, and I got to have it last week, and I only hope they're kids. He mentions like his nephews or something like that. We're watching, and they could have that same reaction, feel the same way that I felt. And he says, when Danielson stuck his hand out and asked me as a sign of respect, or to show me a sign of respect, he says, I didn't care if people called me a wrestler or a sports entertainer. I only cared about that moment. Jericho, you ruined that for me. And Jericho says, I feel sorry you feel that way, but you'll have plenty of other moments like that. Deep down,
it just minimizes it. It's terrible.
Yeah, it says deep down inside, you know you're a sports entertainer, and now I want to hear you say it. I want you to say it. Say it, damn it.
So Garcia's hemming and hawing before he can say anything. Danielson's music hits. He comes to the ring. He looks thoroughly entertained. He says, I see that Garcia's mentor is trying to bully him into saying he's a sports entertainment. He says, listen, Garcia, you can be whatever you want to be. He says, I respect you for wrestling me last week, and I agree with the fans that you are, in fact, a wrestler. Jericho says, Garcia is a sports entertainer, and I want to hear Garcia say it. Garcia tells him to stop. He says, I got my mentor here, I got my hero here, and you're trying to make me make this decision now in front of everybody. I'm not doing it. He turns to leave, and Jericho tries to turn. He grabs him, and he turns him around, and Garcia pushes him to the mat. And Garcia immediately just looks so emotionally distraught, even more so than he has during this entire segment, and that's saying a lot. And then Danielson just starts laughing. Yeah. He's cracking up about the whole thing. So Garcia leaves, and then Bryan tells Jericho, he says, I'm not the biggest fan of sports entertainment. He says, but I'll be honest, that was pretty damn entertaining. And then Jericho gets up, and he says, it pisses me off. People keep saying that you're the best wrestler in the world today. I've been around for 15 years. And
he says, I've been around you for 15 years, and I haven't seen it.
And I haven't seen it. He says, I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. He says, if you want to talk wrestling, I'm the last survivor of Stu Hart's dungeon. I know more about wrestling than Bryan ever will. I am the Lionheart Chris Jericho. And Danielson says, oh, do you? He says, if you could ask Stu Hart who is a better wrestler, who do you think he'd say? If we could ask your hero, Owen Hart, who the better wrestler was, who do you think he'd say? He says, if we wrestled a match right here in Cleveland, right here, right now, who do you think would win that match? And Jericho asks Bryan if he wants the match. You got it all out. He said, but keep this in mind. Last time I was in the ring with you, I choked you out and put you out of action for 2 months. And on top of that, You better watch your back. And Danielson's like, what? And then Hager lays out Bryan from behind, slams him down to the mat.
Yep. First match of the evening, and it was a good one. Dax Harwood taking on Jay Lethal. I don't know what was different about tonight in terms of the acoustics, the arena where they placed the ring mics or what. Mm-hmm. Chops were super loud tonight across the board.
That one especially that echoed was the Pentagon one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this match had a ton of chops, and the main event had a ton of chops, and you could hear, like sometimes you watch a wrestling show and you see a chop, and you could tell it's a good chop because you could hear it. Mm-hmm. But every chop on Dynamite tonight sound like it was thunderous.
Yeah, it was
like they all sound like Walter chops. It was great. Anyway, so Dax and Jay, they're just chopping the heck out of each other for a while. Eventually, Jay starts working Dax's leg. And down towards the finish, this match was awesome. So Jay's Lethal's looking for a roll-up. Dax reverses to a sharpshooter. Sanjay Dutt runs out to ringside, gets on the apron, and Dax goes over to confront him. He turns around, sees Lethal, and eventually Dax gets pushed into Dutt. Dutt falls to the floor. And then Dax and Jay exchange a bunch of roll-ups. Dax hits a crossbody off the second rope, gets a 2. So then Dax rolls up Jay again, but then Jay reverses that roll-up to a roll-up of his own with a handful of tights to get the win. And then Sanjay grabs the mic. He says, tells the crowd to get up for Jay. He says, I got a message for you, Dax, Cash, Wardlow. If you think they know what's going on all out, you don't. Because I didn't say who is a part of our team. It's going to be Jay Lethal teaming with 2 close personal friends of his. And he throws to a video package, and it's Motor City Machine Guns.
So, on one hand,
it's great because it'll make for a great match. I don't know anything about any connection between Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal that I believe that they are close personal friends. And that's just me. I don't know if they have a history in Ring of Honor, and that's on me.
Well, they were all in TNA together, weren't they? At the same time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's case.
So I kind of got that, but like, I don't know. Again, look, I'm excited. I love Motor City Machine Guns. I think they're great. They're doing great work on Impact, and if they're coming to AEW, that's cool. We've talked about how the tag team division can use a little bit of bolstering. If again, you and I have talked about this a little bit. Just throwing this out there. If you have a locker room that's full of discontent, maybe you want to run with people who don't maybe normally get a shot at pay-per-view. Yeah. To be on the pay-per-view that you have signed to your roster.
Rather than bringing people in from another company.
Rather than bringing people in, yeah. So, I don't know. That's my perspective. Like, I don't know. I understand that they have a connection and everything, and I know Tony Khan loves to go outside the world of AEW and pop the fans doing that, and Motor City Machine Guns are a hell of a tag team.
They're really good.
They are really, really good. It's going to be kind of funny watching them as bad guys. Because right now, anyways, during this run in Impact, they're good guys. They've probably been bad guys in the past. I wasn't watching.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the third member of Time Machine, Kushida, going to think about Motor City Machine Guns teaming up with Jay Lethal?
Is there any relationship between Jay Lethal and Kushida that Kushida would be like, oh, man, you don't want to do this?
So, who mentioned this in chat that Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal teamed up to take on Team 3D in 2008? That was Jam on it. Thank you.
All right. Oh, man, Jorge D has it. They should have brought in Honor No More.
Would have made sense. All
right. So, anyways, after that, we've got Tony Schiavone interview with Thunder Rosa, and she is broken up. She is emotional. She's heartbroken. This is her words. She says, I feel like I let the fans down. I found out today I won't be able to defend the title at All Out. Tony Storm is going to challenge for the interim title. She said, this isn't going to stop me. I'm going to come back better and stronger and with a bigger chip on my shoulder. And then commentary announced it's going to be a fatal 4-way match at All Out. Tony Storm versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida.
Yep. Then we got Colton Gunn of the Ass Boys taking on Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass himself. The Acclaim join Billy Gunn ringside. Max had a pretty solid rap tonight, and then Stokely is sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, ominously. Yeah, the rap was good. Like I mentioned, he mentioned the talent meeting.
Yeah,
I think he referenced the student loan
debt
forgiveness.
release. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
current events with Max Caster.
Exactly. So the finish of this, Stokely blasts Max Caster with the boombox from behind, and then Austin Gunn sends Bowens to the ring steps. This distracts Aubrey Edwards. Colton Gunn hits a low blow, follows with his finish to get the win on his dad. Then Stokely gets in the ring. He hands business cards to Austin and Colton. They take him. They start stomping on Billy. The Acclaim get in the ring. They get stomped on by the Ass Boys too. And then Swerve and Keith Lee run out to make the save.
Yeah, we find out more about that in a little bit. But first, we had an interview between Death Triangle and Aussie Open. Will mentions to Pac. Last time him and Pac were in a ring, they had a 30-minute brawl. I thought it was a 30-minute. Was it a draw? I think was it a draw? Whatever.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Brawl, draw, whatever.
Dude, there's so much stuff happening on Dynamite. I try to keep up best I can.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, did I hear that wrong? He says, but the United Empire has one mission, more gold. And Pac says, you need to understand that we've waited too long for this opportunity. Tonight, we're not going to kill you. We're going to murder you because AEW is Death Triangle territory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Britt Baker versus Kylan King. This was a fun match. Kylan King is from the Cleveland area, so she got a good reception from the crowd.
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty cool wrestling that close to home in such a
absolutely
large stage like that. Britt, of course, gets the win with lockjaw. King taps, so then Britt grabs the mic, says, "Oh, it's a shame about Thunder Rosa, but when I was champ, I wrestled my entire reign with a broken wrist, because that's what a champ does. As for the pay-per-view, we still have Thunderstorm to deal with, but at least Tony will be on a pay-per-view that people will actually give a damn about because she's in the match with me." So this brings Tony out to ringside. Hayter and Rebel follow. Hayter lays her out from behind, throws her into the ring, and then Hikaru Shida comes out and comes to the ring to make the save.
I was really hoping then she would turn on Tony Storm, because it's like, dude, it's every man for yourself, every woman for themselves. Start wailing on her with that kendo stick.
You know, AEW is generally pretty firm with their faces hang out with faces and heels hang out with heels.
Yeah.
Trope in wrestling. And sometimes, especially with a title opportunity or a title match, you know, down the line in the near future.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude.
You can make the case that you got to do things. Sometimes you got to do things to give yourself an upper hand in a title match.
She does play dirty before in the past.
Yep.
She's gone down that road a couple times in AEW.
Yep.
After that, we had an Acclaimed and Swerve in our Glory interview. Swerve says, we didn't mind making the save because we love the Acclaimed. Lee says, and you guys are ranked. We didn't just save you because we love you. We're challenging you to a match at All Out. And then not very grateful here, Caster says, we don't need your help. We're the best homegrown AEW team there is and the winningest team. And Bowen says, yeah, we're going to win those titles at All Out. Like, they could just a thank you wouldn't suffice. They couldn't have been like,
yeah, I'd be like, all right, cool, thanks, guys.
Yeah, would take the challenge. That's great. May the best team win. But nope.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Then we had the unification bout. Jon Moxley versus Phil. CM Punk Brooks. As mentioned, Punk, what? That's his name, isn't it? It is his name.
That's correct. It is.
I always find it funny when we call him Phil, and it irritates people.
I know. Isn't that weird?
Why are you guys calling him Phil? He doesn't like when you do that.
Really? Do you know him? He doesn't know us. He's not watching this shit.
He'll never hear us call him Phil.
He'll probably block him after that tweet I sent out tonight.
Oh, what'd you say?
I just said, this was on my gut reaction. I said, holy shit, this is like a Punk UFC match.
Did you tag him in it?
Fuck no. No, I'm not doing
good.
that. But it's got like 1,000 likes.
Oh, okay. If he does any sort of vanity searching, he might come upon it. Gotcha.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, so as mentioned during the match, early in the match, and this was a short match, Punk hits Mox with a head kick, and apparently his foot explodes the size of his boot because he's just writhing on the ground, selling foot. So he gets up eventually, and then Mox hits Punk with a lariat, a bunch of 12-6 elbows, starts twisting on Punk's bad foot, hits 2 paradigm shifts to get the win, and then trainers come in the ring to check on Punk. Mox is celebrating. He eventually makes his way to celebrate up in the crowd, and then Punk is helped out of the ring, and they had a good shot where he kind of stops on the ramp and turns back to look at Mox celebrating, and you just see that Punk is like completely heartbroken. So they might use this to turn him heel.
I think they probably will. Isn't that that's kind of crazy? I mean, that's kind of crazy though. Like, you go from 1 week airing your personal grievances in a weird promo against Hangman, and then 2 weeks later you've lost that main event spot against Hangman. That's kind of nuts. If that's the match that happens.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be.
Oh, he'd lose the main event spot all out to Hangman, not against Hangman. Yeah.
No, I'm saying to Hangman. Yeah, like the dude you had a beef with. Now he's going to go into Chicago.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe Mox will have an open challenge at All Out.
That'd be cool. And then they can bring somebody else in from a different company.
I know.
Moose will show up.
I know. Yeah. But look, Okada's here.
He's got the gray sweatpants on again.
I think Okada's on paternity leave though. So.
Oh yeah. After that, it was funny because like everybody was like just freaking out about this match, and then all of a sudden you see Christian Cage's big old head, and I was like, I am shocked that you got notes here because like everybody was just furiously talking about the match.
He said a lot.
He said a lot. Yeah,
he said a lot. I had a hard time keeping up. So he says, I tried to extend an olive branch, Jungle Boy, give him one last chance to apologize to losing the tag titles and saying all those horrible things he said about me. He goes, I said horrible things too, but it was tough love. I was trying to make Jungle Boy a better version of himself. And he goes on about how Jungle Boy thinks he's smarter and better than he actually is. And he goes, but Jungle Boy, you're not smarter than me. You have the audacity to challenge me to a match at All Out. Well, you're going to find out that I'm not average. I'm special. And All Out, at less than 100%, you're going to find out that you're not in my league. I'll see it All Out.
Yeah.
I think that was the gist of it.
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't go straight to. Did they go to commercial? Yeah, I think they went to commercial in between these things. Yeah,
they came back.
But still, they needed to do like a double dose of commercials because everybody was still just talking. I was nuts. After that, Ricky Starks comes out. He's got a fantastic Volt shirt.
Oh, that was amazing.
He says, I haven't been in the best of moods because I'm hurt and I'm pissed off from dealing with Team Taz being over, losing the FTW title, dealing with the factory, and Hobbs coming after me. He's like, I got vets telling me it's show business, not friend business. But I thought we were the exception because I had Hobbs. He says the thing about people who want you to do good is that you don't do better. Wait, you don't?
They don't want you to do better than they are. Than them.
And then he says, but Hobbs, and he got a little emotional. He says, you hit me in my neck. And then he says, when Hobbs knew I was close to losing everything, he's, I called you my friend. He says, but now I call you a snake. And where I come from, they cut the heads off snakes. And he challenged Hobbs to a match at All Out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope Hobbs wins this match. I don't think he's going to.
Entirely possible. Depends how long if they get the factory involved or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's possible. And we got a Mox promo. He says, best in the world, my ass. He says, all the people who are surprised right now are the same people who called me the interim champion, the people who wanted to write me off. He says, that doesn't matter. The answer to any problem you would have in pro wrestling is Jon Moxley. He says, I'm not just some guy. I'm the guy in this industry. Everyone's always asking, when's it going to be my time? Well, my time is right now.
Right,
goddamn time right now.
Goddamn time right now. God damn it. God damn it, pal. After that, we had a great Kenny Omega returns video package, and then, oh my God, this match. Will Ospreay and Aussie Open. I mean, Ospreay was just sort of showing everybody again why he's. Again, this is a guy, I got to go back and watch a bunch of his matches from 2022 again when we're deciding, because this is coming sooner than later, feels like.
Yeah.
These next couple months are going to go by really quick, man.
Okay, hold on. We can stop the debate right now. Jon Moxley, due to his win tonight's Wrestler of the Year. Full stop.
Yeah, you're probably right. God damn it. Still, Will Ospreay's so good.
He is good. He's good. He's been good for several years.
I know, but
Mox is operating at a whole nother level right now.
Will Ospreay is really taking it. He's taking it to another level this year, man. Another level.
I don't know, the same way that Mox has. Mox Wrestler of the Year.
The thing about Will Ospreay is that, man, over Speedball Mike Bailey?
Yeah.
Wow. So your Wrestler of the Year is kind of like the PWI version. It's like kayfabed.
No, not necessarily, because Mox has put on some really good matches, too.
Yeah, he's put on some really good matches. Him and Punk should have done that spot that him and Effie did.
Yeah.
Just endless kissing. Chokes him out, and Punk reaches down in his pants and starts rubbing himself. He's like, I learned this one in the indie leagues. We'll do this spot where we just start kissing each other. That'd be great. Phil's like, that's good, man. That's cool, but like, that's kind of confusing. I'm not sure that's the story we want to tell. Yeah, it's great. People love it. It was trending on Twitter.
This is one of those matches that you just got to go watch it. I took notes.
Oh, dude, this was
you
nuts.
You could try to picture what I'm saying in your mind. It's not going to suffice.
Yeah.
There was a really good opening sequence between Ospreay and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing. And later on, Pac and Ospreay had another absolutely amazing sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm kind of a bit surprised by the finish, but then again, I guess maybe not, considering all the trash talk that Kenny and Will have been doing through the press and on social media. So, wow, there's a huge chunk of notes here for the lead up to the finish. So I'll start with this. So Pac is going on a run. He hits Will with a DDT. He goes up top. Fletcher pulls Will out of the ring. So then Pac moves from the top turnbuckle to the ring post, takes out Aussie Open with a moonsault to the floor. And so when he gets up, he notices who he thinks is Kip Sabian in the crowd, dude with the box on his head. Mm-hmm. And so he steps up to him, talks some trash, and takes the box off, but it's not Kip. It's some dude with his mouth taped up.
Yeah, all beat
Looks
up.
Like he got beat up a little bit. And so Kip runs up behind Pac, attacks him, and suplexes him on the floor. He's got like a cool-looking teal suit. He's got like a real thin beard.
Yeah.
He's got silver hair.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks cool. I don't know
cool.
exactly the character is. I kind of have a feeling it's kind of a Joker thing.
Yeah.
That's just what my vibe tells me.
Okay, yeah.
Or the
like
vibe
Joker
is telling
and
me.
Quicksilver is one character, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Something like that, sure. So then United Empire proceeds to just absolutely wreck the Lucha Brothers. And then they end up hitting Phoenix was like a assisted Os-Cutter to get the win.
Yup. And then after that, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks walk to the ramp.
This was pretty fun.
Talk some shit. Commentary says that, wait, what is it? Commentary said that Kenny looks like a mess?
Yeah, Excalibur says, wow, Kenny really looks like a mess. Because he had tape everywhere. He had tape on his shoulder, on his knee.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Everybody does that these days. Everybody has a endless
But I think
tape.
the idea is that, and even they mentioned, hey, as we saw earlier, who knows what can happen if you come back too soon from injury. Mm-hmm. But they keep to the whole thing where Kenny is trying to get past the Young Bucks and later Don Callis to get to the ring to get at Will Ospreay. Whereas, and Ospreay's like, come on in.
Well, they've got a pretty heated Twitter rivalry.
They do,
which I think has
had talked a lot of trash in the media
some
too.
Cease and desist. I think Ospreay released a shirt like when he stole the One-Winged Angel, and then he during a match, I forget, it was like Rev Pro or something, hits this dude with the One-Winged Angel, and then when the ref goes down to count, Will pulls him up. So somebody technically he's kicked out of the One-Winged Angel. It's not Kenny's One-Winged Angel, but he did that shit. I was getting, and then Ospreay released a shirt based on that, and then he got sent to cease and desist.
Yeah.
I hope they need to wait until Kenny thinks he's full speed, because oh my god, that match is going to be absolutely nuts.
Yeah, this will just be a little tease because it's going to be United Empire taking on Kenny and the Bucks in the semifinals.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
for this tournament.
That's going to be good stuff. All right, let's talk about NXT and that featured a main event that I did not watch.
You didn't watch it?
No, I forgot about it. I thought that I was done. And then I was like, "Wait, what? What is it? There's a lights out match still." And then I was like,
"Oh yeah, it was an enjoyable bout."
So here's the thing about NXT right now: they are totally going to change everything about it. You got now we've confirmed in this week's episode of NXT that at the upcoming Worlds Collide, this is all going to be title unification.
It is, and it's going to be the end of NXT UK.
Right? Yeah.
NXT UK is gone.
It's done. And I get the feeling, so like we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of 2.0. It would not shock me, given how many changes Triple H has made, it would not shock me, and I don't think it's going to go back to the black and gold necessarily, wouldn't shock me now that you've got the NXT UK brand or the top players there integrating into NXT, it would not shock me to see a sort of a rebrand and maybe going back to takeovers again. That wouldn't shock me to see. They should. They should.
They really should. I know.
I know the whole point of 2.0 is like, hey, it's a bunch of new people. They've been around for a year now. So they're not really new anymore. You can get rid of that stupid 2.0 line,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's something else I was going to say. Whatever, let's get into it. So it opens up with Braun Breaker promo. He's putting over JD.
Oh, well, hold on. Wait, I'm sorry.
What?
We could talk about, there's some stuff. We'll talk about call-ups.
Oh, yeah, Indy's getting called up.
Indy's getting called up. Legato's getting called. I love how and this is like NXT is such it's almost as if Triple H, and you see this with Tyler Bate already carrying the UK title, right? And they've already announced this match, even though over on the UK show it hasn't happened. They don't care. He is just sorting all the pieces out. They had this match last week where Legato has to keep on working for Tony D'Angelo. If Santos loses, he does. And then this week he just pulls up in a car. Is like, come on, guys, let's go anyways. Who cares about the stipulation? I thought it was interesting. They also had the one that we did have a title unification match this week. It was the Dumpster Champion versus the NXT UK champion. So now Tyler Bate is, I think, officially the Dumpster Champion because he beat Von Wagner.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, at the least, lineal
Dumpster Champion. Correct. So anyways, whatever. We can get into it. And then, you mentioned Indy Hartwell. I hope she goes to Raw or SmackDown, wherever.
The Index reunion was the highlight of the show.
I got kind of emotional.
I did
because
too.
She really, and as much as he can in character, that embrace, especially like the final embrace between. Oh my God, there was something real there.
That old editing exercise. I think we watched it a little bit in one of our film school classes where it's somebody with a blank expression.
Yeah.
And it's like experimental montage. And so the next image is, I don't know, like I think in this instance was a bowl of soup.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then you're asked, so what was the person thinking of? Just, blank expression. Oh, they're probably hungry.
They're hungry, yeah.
So even though Loomis, relatively blank expression, given everything else that's going on around him, you could read into it. And his body language, while subtle, says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, up at the Braun Breaker promo.
Yeah.
He was putting over JD.
Now he's hanging upside down. He's like a bat. It's weird. We had a banger.
That was
JD's
weird.
Yeah, I just like to do the voice, man. Let me just do the voice here.
All right, do the voice.
He proved that I'm one of the best. He proved that he's one of the best in the world. So am I, though. But after the match was over, Tyler Bate made his presence felt. So I figure Bate didn't fly here for the Sky Miles. Sky Miles. So come down the ring. Let's talk.
I'm kind of bummed he didn't make a Sky Mall reference.
Yeah. I want a spending spree right from my chair. Wrote down what I wanted.
Tyler Bate comes to the ring and says, well, thank you for the invitation. Congratulates Braun as win over JD. Says, I've been in the ring with JD, so I know how good he is. Braun says, says, Braun, you are correct. No, this is Tyler Bate still. Says, Braun, you are correct. I'm not here to collect air miles.
Frequent flyer, yeah.
Yeah, no one said frequent flyer. Maybe that's copywritten or something. Trademark, sorry.
Could be.
Says NXT UK has been host of some of the best matches in the business. Sorry, the best in the biz. And right now I stand here as the proud flag bearer of NXT UK, their first and last champ. And with NXT Europe around the corner, can't think of a better way to kick things off than by unifying the titles. And Braun says, I know how great you are.
Yeah, I know how great you are. It's my turn to talk now. When I think of NXT UK, this was stupid. When I think of NXT UK, I think of you because you're in front of me right now wearing a bread chef outfit. But this isn't NXT UK. This is what bugs me about it. Because then he puts over, he says, this isn't NXT UK. This is NXT where the greatest superstars in the world are. So he's referencing the pecking order here. That NXT UK is supposed to be, even though these people have been wrestling for like 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, whatever. I mean, Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate at this point, if he's 25, he's probably been wrestling for 10 years.
Oh, he's older than 25 at this point.
Well, he said he is 25. He said
he was 25?
He said he showed up at as a 19-year-old boy.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah. And he says, now I'm a 25-year-old bread chef. And so it's this idea that just because NXT UK is a sub-brand, the wrestlers there are not as powered up. Yeah. It's NXT, but I'm Braun Breaker. Anyways, whatever. He says, there should be one NXT champ. You don't even have a brand anymore. 2 weeks, let's make history. Worlds collide. Champ versus champ. Title versus title. They shake hands, and then they hold up their titles.
They hold the belt, yeah. Then we had a Gallus video package. We had Gallus versus Briggs and Jensen. The finish of this match made 0 sense. So at one point, Lash Legend runs down to ringside. She blasts Fallon from behind. So Briggs, who has the advantage at this juncture, he leaves the ring, as does Jensen, to go check on her. Well, Pretty Deadly attack. They're fighting. Match should have been called off right there. Briggs and Jensen win. It should have been a DQ.
A DQ because Pretty Deadly was attacking them.
Attacking competitors in the match. However, the ref did not call for a DQ, even though he was looking at the attack.
He just
Gallus wins by count out.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
And then Dynamite runs in, attacks Gallus, and then sends them out of the ring.
And I was looking at Dynamite. I'm like, Roderick Strong, you're about to be jumped out of the group last week. But they address that a little bit later.
They do.
After that, we see Grayson Waller backstage giving his producer crap ahead of his talk show, which was brutal.
It was very long.
Yeah.
Very long.
After that, we had a Chase U video package where Chase introduces Charlie Dempsey as a guest teacher there at Chase U. He says Charlie's going to teach the class some moves. Charlie stretches his kid. Chase says, hey, man, it's only an exhibition. Let's try with Bodie. He's a bit more advanced. Charlie stretches the shit out of him, too. And then Chase tells Dempsey, hey, man, that's enough. And Bodie gets in his face, says, it's just supposed to be practice. And then Dempsey says, your class is too soft. If you want to do your homework, Google Billy Robinson or the 1974 movie The Wrestler, starring Billy Robinson.
And then we had the Grayson Waller effect talk show.
Sum this up in 3 sentences. This was so fucking long.
This is all just. They did address. This doesn't make any sense either.
No, it doesn't.
So Waller addresses Apollo Crews' apparent precognitive powers, but that would mean that he, as a player in this world of NXT, would also be watching the show, because there's no other way he would know about it.
Okay, so here's the thing. You can't have it both ways. We have to assume that Grayson Waller doesn't have that the audience at home are the only people who has access to that stuff that they're showing us.
Exactly. Unless Grayson Waller has the same power.
They're from the same species of like time traveling aliens or precog aliens or precog humans. Wow. Man, I wish they would have gone there instead. This was terrible. I kind of wonder, when this started off and they had the picture-in-picture thing, which was kind of funny, I was like, oh, are they just sort of like taking the piss out of the talk show thing, making this so ungodly bad that that's sort of the gag here? It was so long, and it's like, man, you're really committing to this bit because this was so long and so bad.
It wasn't very good. It's just all to build to a match between Waller and Crews, a match we know is going to happen even if they don't have this segment.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, it was really long. Really long.
Yeah.
Really long.
Yeah, I do. Getting back to the whole idea of Waller knowing about Apollo Crews' powers because he's seen the version of NXT that we see, not the version in his universe.
Exactly.
I wonder if that's just a little bit of like, if Shawn Michaels is literally sitting there on a typewriter, he might not, because he's a wrestler. He's not like a fiction writer,
Yeah.
But if he's tasked with doing this, maybe he's not quite wrapping his head around this stuff. You know what I mean? He's like the tick, 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 ding, tick, tick, tick.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, no, this is, everybody knows because it's on TV. It's like, no, that shouldn't be how it is.
No, because Grayson Waller should not be watching NXT TV.
He shouldn't have access to the same TV that we have.
Exactly.
Where we can see inside of Apollo Crews. Exactly. He's in the universe.
Exactly. So we're backstage. Security is escorting Gallus somewhere. So Pretty Deadly steps up to him and says, Gallus, you're here, but you can't steal our thunder. And the Mark Coffee, Airmark 90, says, we're just here to take our titles home. And Pretty Deadly's like, oh, the tag titles, the ones we beat you for? And then Joe's like, hey, we would have won tonight if not for you. This is all going to lead to a four-way match for the tag title unification. It's going to be Gallus. It's going to be Briggs and Jensen. It's going to be Pretty Deadly. And it's going to be Dynamite, and Dynamite's going to win.
You're probably right about that. Although I want Gallus to win. Gallus boys on talk. After that, we had a Burt video package. After that, we had, oh man, my favorite Von Wagner and Mr. Stone interview. Yeah,
really sink your teeth in this one, Steve.
Oh man, so Stone says, everybody loves Tyler Bate, but this is a new NXT. Think that Von cares that? Oh, do you think that Von cares that Bate is a 2-time champ? And Von says, hey, Tyler Bate's a superstar. He's known as a big, strong boy. But I'm a big, strong man. I'm dumpster champion. After I crush Bate, I'm going to put him in my dumpster in the jungle that I live in. But he's not going to make it to Worlds Collide because he's going to be in my dumpster.
Yeah.
And then Javier Bardal from the Bardal oil family has a match against Cameron Grimes where Cameron Grimes basically attempts to decapitate this guy via cave-in.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I am shocked that he didn't crush his fucking larynx, dude.
I know.
Oh, my God.
That was a nasty cave-in. So you have Schism, Joe Gacy, and the Dyad watching from the perch they have up there. And so Grimes gets to win with that cave-in, and he just stares at Gacy and Gibson and Drake.
Yeah, I can't stand all of this. I want this all gone.
I know.
Somebody needs to take a HBK, just be like, when he's not looking, take that piece of script out, rip it up. We had a Blair Davenport
take
video
it out,
package.
eat it, put it in your mouth.
After that, we had an Alba Fire video package. Then we had Indy Hartwell versus Blair Davenport. This is a good match. In the end, the freaking Blair Davenport gets the win with a Falcon Arrow. Mm-hmm. And then Blair hits Indy with a Kamagoya after the bell. Boots her out of the ring, grabs a mic, says, the most amazing mistress of NXT UK has arrived, and I just wasted one of the best this division has to offer. She says, I was a number 1 contender in the UK, but I think the NXT Women's Championship will do just fine because I'm the rightful heir to the Women's Championship. Mandy Rose, the champion, walks to the ramp, says Blair's reputation precedes you. She introduces herself, says Blair is standing in her ring. Blair has entered into her world, and in her world, everyone follows her lead. She says, I'm the dominant women's champion, put some respect on her name, and then Mandy's interrupted by Mako Satomura, who, God damn it, she needs to win that unified title. I'll be really bummed out if that's not the case. Mandy really needs to go back to main roster. I think her and Toxic Attraction both should get called up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So Mako comes out, tells Mandy, you're wrong. It's fiction. You're not the most dominant women's champion. I am. And then Mandy says, you know what? You're a legend, but I can't think of a better way to put respect on my name than to beat a legend like you. And then Mako challenges Mandy to title versus title, and Blair's like, hey, I'm still here, by the way. And then Mako's like, okay, fine. Yeah, sure, you're good. Triple threat match then.
And then we get a Tiffany Stratton interview in advance of the match Steve didn't watch. Says, I want to talk about myself. Says after her match with Wendy, whoever walks out as women's champ will have to deal with me. She says, am I overlooking Wendy tonight? Yeah. Says after I beat her, Wendy won't be able to show her face around here, and the vision is going to be all about me.
I could have faked it. At least I was honest about it, because some weeks I'll just fake it. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I saw this.
No, hats off to you for full transparency and honesty, Steve.
Absolutely. Here at Going in Raw, we're all about transparency. After that, Tony D'Angelo was lecturing Legato about that match last week. He's like, hey, how'd that work out for you? That's why I'm the Don and Santos is forgotten. He says, but I'm a forgiving guy. The past is the past, and the future of the family starts tonight with a win from Wild and Del Toro.
Yep.
We had a JD McDonough video package where he's hanging upside down.
Yeah. That was the reveal at the end. He was just hanging upside down.
I got that like in the first couple seconds. I was like, okay, either he's cranking as he's talking or he's hanging upside down, and this is still a TV PG program.
Yeah, so it's got to be hanging upside down.
Probably upside down.
So we're backstage. Wesley is talking with Caden Carter, Katana Chance.
This was so cringy.
He says, JD gives me the creeps. There's something wrong with that guy. He says, anyways, let's talk about the champs. He offers up some advice when you're a champ. Everyone is coming for you. Keep your head on a swivel. And Carter says, as far as we're concerned, we're the only real tag champs in WWE. And then Katana says, they'll take on anyone, anywhere. And then Carter says, worlds are colliding now. They know where to find us every Tuesday. And then we get the best part of the show. So Indy Hartwell.
Wait, they're the only real.
Doesn't make any sense.
Did they not know who the Usos are? Maybe they meant women's tag champions. They probably meant to say that.
Yeah, maybe they did, and I didn't notice it.
That segment was horrible. They're all acting like it was a fucking Degrassi Junior High video or something like that. It was horrible. This was great, though. So go ahead.
This was great.
Speak on this.
So Indy's sitting on the apron, and she says, this is what rock bottom feels like. This sucks. She says, no disrespect to Blair. She's probably going to unify the titles, but she's not the problem. I'm the problem. It's always been me. She says, 4 months ago, I took a long look in the mirror and told myself that I was done with the tears and the setbacks. That she said I was going to stand on my own 2 feet and reignite my career. But here I sit 4 months later in the same situation I was after Stand Deliver. And then you hear the crowd, kind of pick up, and you see Dexter Lumis pop up behind her on the opposite side of the ring. And then so she turns around, sees him. They both crawl into the ring. They hug. She kisses him. They hug some more. They leave together. We go to commentary. It was such a heartwarming moment. It was great. And so they cut the commentary for a moment. And then we're back. We're like at the entrance of Performance Center. And Lumis hands Indy a note. Indy kisses him, and then Lumis opens the doors, and you see the flashing of the lights of police cars. Mm-hmm. He walks outside, and a super dramatic way, too. He walks backwards with his arms spread to really hold the doors open, and they close real slowly as he kind of descends into the night and gets arrested.
Yeah. That
and
continuity is something else, man. This dude kidnapped The Miz on Monday, and on Tuesday he gets arrested. How great was that?
And you got to hope that Indy is going to show up on Raw Monday trying to find Dexter.
God, man. Do you imagine all of the way on Raw? Well,
I know.
Once Candice shows up as well. Yeah,
save for Candice. Well, yeah. So then Indy opens the note, and inside it says, Lumis says, I love you. Sorry, it says, goodbye. I love you forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it did say goodbye for now, though.
Yes.
Yeah. After that, we had a Cora Jade interview. She's like, I beat Roxanne in the middle of the ring. Everybody loves her. She's so amazing. But if she's so amazing, then what does that make the woman who beat her at Heat Wave? She said, if Roxanne had DDT'd me on the kendo stick, everybody said, oh, Cora deserved it. But because I did it, it's the worst thing in the world. She said, I'm better than her. And then she takes a crack at Twitter warriors or something. Says, go touch some grass. And she said, go on a date. And the blow-up dolls don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then we got Dyad versus Legado. Cameron Grimes is now watching from the perch.
Mm-hmm,
Tables have turned at this junction.
Oh, yeah. No, he got to the perch.
So Dyad get the win with Ticket to Ride. I don't know what the finisher's called now. I'm guessing it's not named after a Beatles song.
No, it's probably not.
Probably not. And so they all look up at Grimes. And he just looks down at them.
It'll be named after the weirdest Beatles song, like Revolution Number 9.
Yeah, Revolution 9 or something like that. Yeah.
Number 9.
And then Tony, he's giving Legado crap about losing because throughout the match he was like, "Hey, don't do any of the high flying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the ring and wrestle." And so he still get him crap about doing high flying stuff.
Yeah. All that flippy crap. After that, Javier Bardal of the Bardal oil family walks backstage. And then there's this girl there who's like, oh, he almost had it. He says, almost doesn't cut it for a guy like me. And then Seth Rogen steps up and says, hey, don't talk to her like that.
Seth Rogen, yeah.
It's time for you to go hit the showers, okay? Yeah, that guy was dead on Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he looks a lot like Seth Rogen.
Oh, man. That guy's my new favorite character, Seth Rogen of NXT.
They said his name, too.
Oh, shit. Was it Seth Rogen?
No, really it was...
What's his character's name in Knocked Up?
It was Hank something.
That's his character's name in Knocked Up?
No, that's what this guy's name was in NXT. It was Hank something.
Hank Rogan. After that, we had... Yeah, because he can't be Seth Rogen because there's already a Seth Rollins. Legado is in the parking lot, and an SUV pulls up. But it doesn't run them over, even though NXT parking lot is generally pretty dangerous. No, it's their good friend, Santos Escobar. He's just been chilling there in the parking lot for a week.
Yeah.
And he tells Legado, you didn't think I'd leave without you, right? La Familia stays together. He says, you ready to go? And they hop in the car, and they're going to go solve some crimes, I guess.
Oh, I can't wait till they're on main roster.
Solving crimes.
Yeah. Then we had a match for the Dumpster Championship, Tyler Bate versus Von Wagner. Whoops.
Hank
Tyler
Walker.
That's what it was.
Hank Walker.
Tyler Bate gets the win here, hitting that corkscrew splash off the top to get the W.
He is the new dumpster champion.
Undisputed dumpster champ. Mm-hmm. Then we get Dynamite backstage, and Kemp is like telling the Creeds, man, that was awesome. And Brutus says, yeah, we're going to get Gallus again next week. And Roddy comes in and goes, yeah, we're going to destroy them. And Julius says, no. He says, we being the Creeds and Kemp are going to destroy them. He says, I only roll with teammates who I trust. And Roddy's like, what? You don't trust me? Julius again says, no. That's when Briggs and Jensen step in. And he says, or they say, oh, hey, leave a piece of Gallus for us. And Roddy says, absolutely not. Not after what Gallus did to us. We're going to destroy them. And then Briggs says, you're running your mouth again, Roderick Strong. Just like you said, the Creeds are the best team in WWE. They're not even the best tag team in NXT. Oof. And then Roddy says, you're a dork just like your partner. And Julia says Roddy's opinion doesn't carry as much weight as it used to. After we're done with Gallus, we'll see who the best team in NXT is.
They're just going to see all together at the same place at the same time.
Our worlds collide.
I love Roderick Strong. He's so great.
Oh, some people are, I feel like are put on this planet to say certain words or phrases.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody that says dork as well as Roderick Strong.
Yeah, he does. He really does. And then that's it. That's your NXT for the week.
Incorrect. There was the Lights Out match, Tiffany Stratton versus Wendy Chu. This match was quite a bit of fun. No rules. There's Legos involved. Someone got put through a bed.
They got put through a bed? How does that
They
work?
bought a bed
chef.
ringside.
Bert the bread chef.
The bed frame, and then the mattress was thrown aside, and then Wendy Chu put Stratton through it after Stratton tried to throw some powder in Chu's eyes, and then she puts Tiffany back in the ring. Wendy goes up top, hits the splash to get the win.
Oh, that's cool. Wendy Chu got the win. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then there's more after that, Steve.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Backstage, according to your notes, Mandy, Blair, and Mako sign a contract for the triple threat match. And then the camera pans out, and Bate and Braun sign a deal for their match.
Yeah, they're at a long table.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So now it's going to be a fatal five-way for both titles.
Uh-huh.
They're all signing the same match contract.
They're all just going to only be one belt in NXT going forward.
Oh, man. Get them all in that giant match.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'm the new one. I'm the best champion. All right. We got a couple minutes here. We'll answer some questions. I'm sure you guys got a bunch of them over here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Let's see here. Here we go. Alex Foster says, you guys said T-Bar would make a good fake Karrion Kross. Yeah, I'm Clarion Cross.
Yeah, that's right.
What other current wrestlers should play fake versions of other current wrestlers to feud with?
Excuse me.
Joe Gacy should play a fake Bray Wyatt. They should bring back Bray Wyatt, but it's Joe Gacy.
Oh, I got a good one. Charlie Dempsey should be fake Kenny Omega.
Lenny Omega. Let's see here. We've talked about this. No, that's not even a question. David Matuszek says if Punk is truly hurt, what does this mean for his future as a wrestler? I mean, if he's too hurt to wrestle, he's going to retire. If he's not, he's going to keep wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that Mox was like working his foot during the match, I felt like it was story, and the fact that commentary was so quick to say, oh, this is what happens when you come back too soon. I think that was the story they were telling.
Yeah.
Watch, we'll find out yesterday that his foot actually did explode inside his boot, you know.
Right. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm still curious about that one. If he I guess he if right now I guess the leading theory is he is too injured to continue wrestling at the level he wants to, and so they just did this.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other option is he's going to drop a babyface promo next week saying, "Oh, I want Mox it all out. My fucked up foot be damned." And then he'll gut out the most unrealistic babyface win with a fucked up foot. I don't know how they're going to make that a credible looking match.
Yeah, I don't know either.
What?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about what you said. John Fear and
You
Loathing.
think that's a possibility, though? Mox comes back now. I'm sorry, Punk comes back next week and says, you know what? This is going to be an unsanctioned match now for the title at All Out because they're not going to let me wrestle, but I want to do it.
Oh, no. No. No.
No?
No. Like, dude just got squashed in like 5 minutes. I'm not going to believe him. I don't care if it's unsanctioned or not.
Right.
Mox will like gnaw that foot off thing. Based on his current character, am I wrong?
No, you're not. It'd be amazing.
No chance. There's no chance. No chance. Like the only chance Punk would have is in a sanctioned bout. Unsanctioned bout, like Mox is going to tear him apart.
Okay. What about a sanctioned bout then? You think it's a possibility?
No, because he just did a sanctioned bout and his foot blew up in his boot. And Mox destroyed him.
Yeah.
Until Punk can prove he's 100%, I don't buy him as a legitimate competitor.
But they're not gonna do like hey, this is a wrestling match and he's a babyface and he's the underdog and he's gonna wrestle around.
Did you watch the match tonight, Steve?
Oh, I did. A couple of times. I watched it back. It was so fast.
I know.
Mox just completely fucking murdered him.
Yeah, he annihilated him. John Fear and Loathing here in chat says, what was more shocking to you, Mox beating Punk tonight or Goldberg squashing Brock at Survivor Series? It was Goldberg squashing Brock. I actually thought there was a not a massive chance, but a chance that Mox could win tonight. I didn't think Goldberg had any shot against Brock.
I had no clue what was going to happen tonight. And I was like, man, I don't think they're going to have just straight up Mox beat him.
It's got a nose foot off.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, come here. Yeah.
Put some seasoning on it. Mox seasoning. Let's see here. Mayor Planet Houston, how do you feel about their handling of the end of NXT UK?
It's very rushed.
It's very rushed.
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was like some nice bit of closure.
Yeah.
For our beloved NXT UK.
I know. It's going to go out on such a whimper. I mean, it's going to be bait, Bert holding up that NXT UK title. And maybe they'll do like a voiceover thing. They'll have Nigel. That's what they should do. Have Nigel and the other Andy or whoever that guy is challenge Wade and Vic to a match. And then Rawgate the comment. Have 4 people in commentary.
There you go.
I think it'd be 3 British guys. Anyways, this is a good dang MQs. What happens to the Heritage Cup?
That's a good point.
It's gonna
we get Noam Dar versus Carmelo. Should that'd be a really good match?
That'd be great. And they fuse the Heritage Cup into the title. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Sondo says just one four-headed guy coming. Oh, this is too much, man. We got to go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
One four-headed guy.